Welcome to your magical moon message. This is the Peace Dealer, and we are going to wrap up the moon in Pisces transit. I was a little late on this one. The moon at current is 26 degrees conjuncting Neptune at 26 degrees. Oops, didn't expect that. Pretend you didn't see that. And we have like 4 degrees left, which is like 8 hours left of this transit, and then the moon will begin its full moon cycle in Aries, and that's where it begins, y'all. You want to really see the start of this season with the full moon. That's going to click everything into gear. The understanding of who you are is like putting your name into the playoffs, and then over the next 2 weeks, we start to go through elimination rounds. Relative to the analogy, right? But personally, okay, moon in Pisces throughout the next couple of years will initiate 28-day cycles with the moon Saturn at the beginning of the sign, coming into the middle of the sign for next year, and then moon Neptune at the end of the sign. So I'm going to talk about moon Neptune since as of recording this, the moon is conjunct Neptune 26 degrees. All right. For moon Saturn and moon Neptune, the 28-day conjunction cycle initializes an activation of supernatural metaphysical perspective. So the moon is activating with the 0 degree conjunction of Saturn and Neptune a metaphysical understanding through the vehicle of your imagination, what Neville Goddard calls God, in order to increase the understanding of metaphysical influences, dream time, astral realm influences that really speak to your inability to see beyond 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, and through your senses and vibrations, feel and come into an understanding of, through the physical of Virgo, how these unseen dynamics actually play out and influence what is real and what is actually physical. And so that cycle draws out with the conjunction in Pisces. It breaks through the ground when the moon is in Gemini, and now relative to that cycle, we understand the truth about what we're sensing, and then it completes itself in Virgo, where we now understand the physical component to the metaphysical vibe we sense. We now start to see within those 2 weeks of that cycle of the 28 days, relative to that conjunction, the adjustment of perception. We complete that harvest with the moon in Sagittarius, where we now see the higher vision and meaning, which now brings us back to Pisces, to where we're now adjusting a new spark and activation of perception. What times the quality of these things is the sun position. So now that the sun position, relative to the last time we had the sun conjunct moon conjunct Neptune, which relative to 2012 has happened in Pisces every year, Virgo season was now the 6-month harvest of this. And now Libra is bringing an 8th house transformation of what we understand as metaphysical, because now that Pisces is 6th house from Libra, we are integrating divine balance into our expression of our super selves. Now that we are harvesting the results of the integrity of our beliefs, we are effectively adjusting how we bring the presentation of our character socially towards other people in a way that helps you feel and understand the metaphysical influences that determine the behavior of this super self-expression. For Libra risings and Libra suns, you are effectively creating your dream life. And this is what's going to borrow in this for everybody, which is going to now, with these conjunctions to the Saturn and Neptune, help you understand the integrity of your beliefs with Saturn and the metaphysical nature of how your imagination is drawing elements of fantasy into your reality. We're going to complete this with the moon in Virgo, which is 12th house of Pisces. Isn't that interesting? The moon in Pisces is 6th house of Virgo from Libra. The moon in Virgo is 12th house of Pisces from Libra, hence the opposition. And this is going to complete this by helping you understand the real unconscious habits and behaviors you release in light of this metaphysical sense of how to live your life as your super self, so you can release those unconscious habits and step into the new moon in Libra and activate this new direction. This is where a lot of the dark psychological projection of insecurity towards your authenticity is going to be heavily brought up coming into the rest of this transit and into the full moon, because now coming into the full moon over the next 2 weeks, you are fundamentally addressing every single attack on your character, and you are whipping out your big spiritual dick and you're smacking people in the face with it, with Chiron and Aries. And that's not a joke. Whether you might not consider yourself violent, you may not physically hit somebody, you're going to be smacking people in the face with your energetic dick, just with your authenticity, just with your willingness to move forward in the direction of what you will do in the face of what other people criticize you against. That's it. It has nothing to do with yelling with people, arguing with people. It's just that single-minded determination to be yourself. And it's going to piss a lot of people off because they're weak. And because weak people don't have power in and of themselves, they have to engage in dark psychological practices where they manipulate people through shame manipulation, guilt manipulation, feigning confusion to make you feel and look dumb. Secure people do not do this. So you're going to now discern the behavior of people's characters relative to who engages in these dark psychological practices. Because most people are insecure. A lot of these people doing this are super insecure. And so your authenticity is it produces this inferiority complex in them. You're going to see elements of this in the collective. You're also going to see elements of people who align with your authenticity. It's not just everyone against you, but just be mindful of that, because this transit brings so much growth, so that you show how certain things that might have intimidated you before, you see how you're the intimidating factor because you are breaking through this expression. And it's going to be very gratifying to feel these same influences who stood on falsities and these fake elements of their own, confidence, which was never really confidence, crumble in the face of you just taking appropriate action. And this is what's going to induce a highly supernatural element to this transit now that we've had the Moon Neptune conjunction, because relative to this cycle that I spoke about in the beginning, you are going to now be understanding how your sensing of the metaphysical has quintessentially transformed completely, and how elements that used to be fantasy, you are now seeing play out for real. Emphasis on, of course, Mercury, which is direct in Virgo, opposite this moon in Pisces energy, translating to your processing brain exactly how to make sense of these unseen dynamics. This now, because of the superpowered quality of Libra as a cardinal power, is going to, in the integration of this divine element of your behavior, not only integrate the nature of how specifically you're going to identify with the super self you are coming into Moon in Aries, but it's also going to facilitate the deeper unlocking of the techniques and behavioral patterns that you initiated new Moon in Virgo. This is it. This is where those new techniques you are now understanding in a divine and supernatural metaphysical way, with its connection to Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus, how specifically you're getting ready to change the application of this in the performing you, because you're no longer practicing through Virgo season. We're done with the montage. Now coming into the full moon, it's time to show your stuff. And coming into the end of this transit with the sextile to Pluto, with the sextile to Uranus, this is going to strengthen your physical body's ability to harness and channel these vibrations while having a very classic awareness of how to present all of that towards people socially. This is going to facilitate now the official integration into kicking off the beginning of the I Told You So tour. Because as you're dealing with projections from other people without having to argue, your own aura is the proof. Your own aura facilitates experiences that shuts people up because you are the living definition of what people said you wouldn't be at this time. And they mad. They are mad. It's beyond you. It's not even that they're mad at you. It's that you exemplifying this principle shits on the beliefs that they've had, which were never true. And so you are just a reminder that most of these people were living a lie their whole time because they're stupid and they deserve it. It is what it is. I know I sound super petty, but like relative to this inability to accept the direction of your authenticity and now have to try and take it out on you, this is what's going to be very gratifying because you're feeling, okay, justice, Libra, justice. You're feeling that justice card element come through. And with the Hanged Man of Neptune surrendering without feeling like you have to prove yourself, to see that come around and help you through this surrender is going to feel really good. All right. And it's definitely also going to prepare to adjust the direction of where you proceed to lay the goddamn smackdown on any oppositional forces, because they're not going to expect for you to come with the thunder and fire that you're coming with. You are effectively completing this new moon Virgo behavioral pattern activation. And there's so much misconceptions people have about who you may be because of noise from outside opinions and people's narratives that you're going to completely demolish just with the integration of this integrity of behavior that's taking in the faith of what you can't see but you still know incorporates around you, hence the supernatural quality of your powers and habits. And you're effectively attaching the activation of these new behavioral patterns into now integrating this into the performance post-practice of what you're performing to other people. This is where by the moon in Aries, we have the full moon eclipse, you have your powers online, and we're using it over the next 2 weeks to develop the social construct to break through. Be wary of people who are justified in their opinions about you, but they're a straight pussy to tell you in your face. But they're going to feel justified about, oh, he or she does this. Then why are they saying it behind your back? Why you have to find this out from other people? Why are they terrified to confront you? Because they're a bitch. And this is where you're the behavioral Virgo signature of this is going to unveil the behavior of many characters around you so that you could prepare with the full moon of what direction to move in. That's basically it, as this will also integrate your behavior. And this is going to put together everything that's going to prepare for the full and the new moon. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this transit, but I hope you don't forego the subtlety of this Moon-Neptune conjunction that's going to reveal to you through very powerful synchronicities the element of how you're tying together 6 months of activating and integrating this new super self character and finally putting everything together. So really fully look forward to massive revelations that's going to really inspire the understanding of who you are and what direction to take that authenticity moving forward. Because this full moon, this is it, y'all. So this is literally the calm before the storm. We're going to see the moon come into Aries coming into the end of today. So just get prepared. All right. Really fully expect events to occur that will now induce your direction and decision making to adhere to the status quo and be a hero, or like us, to go against status quo and be labeled a villain, when really, we just doing what's right. All right. Y'all stay blessed as always. Once again, this is preparing us for the full moon, and there's an adjustment of your behavior and approach towards how you express who you're becoming, your super self. Enjoy the supernatural revelations that will come as a result, and get ready for that full moon, because this is where we start to enter the playoffs.